Hi, my name's Deb. I'm here to explain the sponge to you. A lot of you may think the sponge is a plant, but it is actually an animal. It's the lowest form of life in the Gulf of Mexico, and it is the hardest worker. It cleanses our Gulf of Mexico. The sponge breathes in, uses all of the nutrients in the Gulf, one of them being iodine, that gives the sponge its natural immunity. This, being the lowest form of life, is the skeleton or the bone structure of the sponge. There's a black skin on the wool sponge. The other sponge, face, finger, have different colors also. There are thousands of species of sponge, but we only harvest 5 that are usable. There are still sponge in the Gulf of Mexico that are being used for cancer research. Also, the sponge, whenever it eats, cleansing the Gulf of Mexico, it gives life to other things and it harbors other critters. The sponge is, with that iodine, mold and bacteria for the life of the sponge, which some of them could be in your shower, your washing cars, your doors, walls, windows, for a lifetime. Sponge that we get at the Spongeorama, we know they come from between 90 and 120 feet of water. The deeper the sponge grows, the more dense it is. Now your loofah on the other end of the spectrum, unlike a sponge, is mold and bacteria infected. It will retain all of that. But the loofah, being the vegetable, when it's fresh, you can use it like a cucumber on a salad, make soups with it. After it dries, that's when you use the inside for calluses on your feet, your knees, your elbows, soap scum on your tub and showers, car windows, car tires, and your barbecue grills. Whenever you use the outside of your loofah after you cut it, you can use that for gentle exfoliation, circulation, and cellulite. Whenever we here at the Spongeorama, the sponge factory, we actually get our sponge, we have them sized differently. The smallest sponge that you're allowed to harvest is 5-inch. A sponge, when we get it, has to fall directly through those holes without touching the diameter of the circle. We go up to basically 8 inches to measure them, and then we are the only ones that cut the sponge into different sizes, since you cannot bathe with the world's largest sponge on record because they retain 5 times their weight. We cut them into different sizes and we train you and fit you for your sponge. That way you know this one's good for dishes, this one's good for bathing for men, bathing for ladies. The other ones, the large ones, for cars, doors, walls, windows, your horses even will love a sponge. The babies, you never want to throw a large 8-inch sponge into their tub. They will scream bloody murder. However, what you do, we have a small sponge. You take that and you put that in the tub. They think it's a toy, and you're introducing them to healthy, mold and bacteria-free bathing.